Okay, so here's a poster I created a while back, and I really like this effect. I saw it online and I tweaked this to my liking, so I made some changes on how I wanted this to look. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the poster that we're going to create, and what I've done is I've made 3 identical copies of the same layer. And what I'm going to do is choose the quick selection tool that's located right here. Choose this and go ahead and select this running back and take all of him. I'm not going to be perfect in this, but you get the idea. I would zoom in and I would get all the pieces that I needed, making sure that I have him selected, and create this. So now I've selected the football player, and once I've selected him, I'm still on this top layer. I'm just going to copy this football player on his own layer. So when I'm on this layer here, I just hold the control key down and hit J. If you're on the Mac, it's the command key and J. And notice it's dropped him, if you look at this thumbnail, it's dropped him on his own layer. So I've gotten rid of everything in the back, which is what we've wanted to do. Now I'm going to go look for the grunge background. I'm going to drop the grunge background right here. So I'm going to go do that right now. I'm going to go to File, Open. I'm going to look for that grunge background, and I took this, this is a tile in my bathroom. So you can pretty much use anything you want to. And now that I've done this, I'm going to grab it and move it into the other picture. So I'm going to grab the Move tool. I'm going to click on the tile, the image, and just drag it up here to the top, holding my mouse button down. I'm going to come in here and drop it in here. I took this with the iPad, so it's going to be different. This is okay. You're just going to click OK. I took it, again, the resolution isn't going to be great. In fact, it's really small. And for now, I'm going to drop it on top so I can see it. And I'm going to make this larger. So I'm going to have this selected here, transform, and to do that, it's Control T to transform. It gives me the bounding boxes around the edges. I'm just going to grab this, and I can hold the Shift key down to make it so I can constrain the proportion. It doesn't really matter because it's going to be a grunge background. Once I get it about that size, now I can just grab the edges. It's, again, not a big deal. Looks like it's pixelating, but once I hit enter, it'll be a little better. So I'm going to hit enter now, and it's a little better than that. So I'm going to drop it again back behind with my layers down here. I'm going to drag it behind the football player. In fact, I'm going to drop it way down here to the second to the bottom layer. I have these turned off so you don't see anything, but I'm going to turn them back on here in a second. So I'm going to grab this and turn it on, and I'm going to make that larger. So to do that, again, this is highlighted, Control T to transform. I'm going to zoom out here a little bit so I can grab the edges. And again, I want to constrain these, and I'm going to hold the Shift key down and just drag this larger. Okay, make it a little larger than it was. From there, I'm going to maybe move it around to where I think I'm going to want that. So maybe somewhere in there. And probably the easiest way to do it from this point on, I'm going to hit the Enter key to accept that size. Maybe just copy this one here, and I can dump this later. So I'm going to copy this, Control J. So I have 2 of those. This I'm just going to drop. I probably didn't need it, so as long as I have 2 of the same size. Okay, so I have those, and I have my regular size one, and I might even want to make this guy a little smaller, the one that I extracted. So I'm going to highlight that layer, Control T, and I'm just going to make him just a tiny bit smaller, not a lot, but a tiny bit. So I'm going to hold the Shift key down to constrain the size and make him just slightly smaller, and hit Enter to accept that. Once I've done that, now I can start to play with these layers in here. And I'm actually going to drop this one, now that I remember. I'm going to put it back up here on top, but I need to change the blending mode on this. So the blending modes live right here. Right now it's normal. So I'm going to choose the one that says overlay, and look what happens. It kind of makes it grungy back here, and you can see it's a little grungy, but not quite as grungy as I want it to look. So I'm going to drop the opacity on these layers down below. So if I do that, just click on a layer, go up here to opacity, and drop this down to about, I'm going to say 20%, way down. Down to about 20%. I think it says 25. Again, it's to taste. Drop this one as well down to 25. And notice it's starting to grunge up, right? So I'm going to drop this down to about, like I said, 20, 25, somewhere in there. Again, it's, you want to change that to taste and on how you want that to look. And there you have it. Now you can add your text in the side. You can do whatever you want to do. You can change the color of this. If you don't like the brown, you can change this color by just going up here to the hue and saturation. And I'm just going to change the color using this slider right here under the hue. Say I don't like brown, I want a blue, and I just come in here and just kind of drag to say, what do I like? Do I like that color? Do I like, more of a yellow? So you just do this to taste, or you might have liked it the way it was, and if you did, you can just get rid of this. Throw this in the garbage, and it's back to the way you had it. So there you have it. It's a fairly easy. You might want to drop these opacities down even a little more. I'm 25. Again, you want to, depending on the quality of your image and how much you want it to show, you would change these. Okay. You can add your text. Again, you can play with the text a little bit by clicking on the FX key down here at the bottom. If you want to drop shadow, just add a drop shadow. Come in here and drag it around to where you like it, or leave it the way it was. You can also maybe add a bevel and emboss. Sometimes that looks good. Click OK when you're ready, and there you have it. And pretty easy to do. Kids love it, and it's just another way of adding to your collection of different images. Have a great day.